only going to talk for 1 second here before we jump into the video, but just my thank yous. The car is done, so my thank yous would be Lance from R&D. Most of the LSA stuff came from him. He's been answering tons and tons of questions. Charles Barber, of course, the magician on the keyboard who tunes the car. Absolutely flawless job, like always, super helpful, is always there to answer all my questions. To all my friends that have been annoying for the last couple weeks, while trying to put this thing together, appreciate everybody's help, so let's jump in.
All right, guys, so this should be our last video for the supercharger install. I think I'm gonna do one more for the fuel pump because we just ordered that, but as far as the blower goes, this should be our last video and everything should be installed. So I think what we got to do is the dampener, the lower pulley, and maybe put the headers back on. And then I'm just waiting for Kong to send me my supercharger back, and then it's gonna be literally bolting the blower back on and then just figuring out the sensors. And then we got our intake over there. All right, so it's not bolted on, but the dampener's on. This was the setup I used, plus the ARP washer on here to get it snug. And then once it stopped, I think it torqued to like 150. I swapped bolts and then put the ARP bolt in. So we're gonna go into the car, we're gonna put the starter back in. I'll show you what I used underneath to hold it. And then we gotta put this back on and then start putting our pulleys on. So that's the part numbers. And this is what it looks like. I snagged this off Amazon. It was like, I don't know, 15 or 20 bucks, but it worked fine for me. So make sure you guys get one of these. These require a Torx Plus 40. I don't own one of those, so I just use one of these regular Torx 40 to get them at least snugged. And then I'll order one of these here in a minute because I went to 2 local stores and nobody carries the Plus. So when we go to torque these, I'll use the correct tools. But for right now, that's in, and then I'm gonna go ahead and throw the pulley on just to see how it looks. Well, first dilemma of this video, these 2 pulleys are touching. So I don't exactly know what to do on that yet, so we're gonna phone some friends and see, I don't know, maybe they make like another bracket that moves it over or something, but we're gonna have to figure that out. But in the meantime, I'm gonna try and get some of this mess cleaned up, and then we're gonna go ahead and put the headers back on. Well, like I said in my last video, I have to take these off like 7 to 19 more times. So the company that makes the lower pulley, DSX, they actually make a relocation bracket that slides this lower one over to the left a little so that I can run this. My bad, but now we know after doing a little homework, so we'll get one of those ordered. Tonight we have to order our catch can, and then I think all that stuff should come in with the blower, maybe a day or 2 apart. So this week I think I should have everything, and we should be able to bolt it all together, and then I'm gonna run a piece of string along the route, measure for our belt, because I don't know, because I can't find the 925, and I think it was like a 245 pulley. Plus the spacers and stuff, I can't find anything that's like, you know, online for that. So I'll just measure and then I'll go on and I'll order a green belt. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and put the headers back on. I got these BTR ones and we broke our little tripod. So it's gonna be hard to film the next couple things until I get one of those done. But I would like to keep moving forward with our progress because nobody really cares about this. So I'm just gonna get it all slapped back together, and then once I get a new tripod, I'll start recording some of the stuff. But headers, pretty easy. Just gonna pull them up, push them on, bolt them on. I'm pretty sure I said it in the last video too, but in case I didn't, we're gonna get rid of the heater core stuff. So I bought this, I'll throw a part number up here, but we're probably gonna order another one from up there because I thought I would just pull all this stuff out, but it sounds like you have to take the entire dashboard out. So maybe a next winter project, but for today, we're just gonna reroute it back into itself so we can delete all that stuff.
and see what we all got ordered. And I believe we're missing just one thing here. I believe just the fuel pump, which we'll do in another video, so not a big deal, but let's see. All right, so first we got our catch can. It's a Mighty Mouse can. This is the breathable one, so I know the filter's probably in there. So we're gonna hook this up, and this is our first box, and let's see what else we got. And then you can see here on the bottom, the holes here, this is the relocation bracket. This is what we need to run the bigger pulley. And then this is gonna be our oil dipstick, because I'm sick of fighting the factory one in, so we just went and ordered one of these little flexible ones here. So this should be, oh, I'm not gonna be able to pick this up. This should be our Nick Williams 103 throttle body. And then we get in here, this should be our blower, which I'll unpack this real quick and then snag this out so we can look at it. Sick, so you can see way bigger opening. I'll turn the flashlight on so you guys can see in there what looks like some epoxy work up here, and they put our pulley on, and then they even had our little name inside there, so pretty sick stuff. I think I actually pulled this off, so it looks like they actually just replaced this for free. They didn't really need to, but hey, cool stuff. Thanks, guys. But let me turn on the flashlight here. Oh yeah, so you can see all the CNC work they did inside there, so definitely opened it up. Hopefully, between talking to them and a couple other guys, they're saying that this should hold somewhere around 750 to 800, no problem. So time to slap this bad Larry in the car. I couldn't really find a list here online or like a chart for, you know, the blower spacer, the upper and lower pulleys, and then, you know, that idler pulley got moved over. So I just ran a piece of string around it, and then what I'll do is I'll go through, measure the string, and then that'll tell me how long of a belt I need. So pretty simple trick. All right, so when we got these bolts for the spacers, I thought they looked a little long, and I mean, as you can see, they're substantially longer than I need. So I already found the correct measurements, so we're gonna go to the store in the morning because it's like 2 a.m. right now, and then we'll get the bolts. So for right now, I think we're gonna put the throttle body on and the lid on to make sure that it still clears up here,
and then we can start checking spacers. The headers are on, so we can go and put the coils back on now. And then I didn't realize that this has Jesus clips on the transcooler lines. So we're gonna pull the clips off of these and then hook that back up so we can put the radiator back in the car. Well, that is gonna need some trimming. So I think what we'll do is we'll just take, like, I think the original line I had over here, and then we'll line it up here, and then we'll just probably pull this entire thing back here to the weather strip. So maybe we'll do that next. So I just got back from the hardware store and we picked up some of these bolts. So I'm gonna leave the long ones in there for 1 second, and then I'm gonna do the middle three, just so it doesn't slide around on me. And then it's twice around. So the first one is 44, and then the second pass is 89, and it's in inch pounds. So it kind of looks like crap, but you can see I had to trim quite a bit, and I had to pull this piece off, so I'm going to trim that. And then I'm going to see if I can find maybe some kind of like hose or something, something soft, because it still sits on the lid, to slide in there to kind of pull that cowl up just a touch. So that way it doesn't, I don't know if it'll rub a hole in there eventually, but rub and make the lid look like crap. So we're going to try and hide/clean that up when we're done. But I had to go around and find the screws for the lid, so now we're gonna go ahead and snug the lid on next. Now that the lid bolts are in, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through and torque them. It's the same as the bolts inside the blower. So it's 44 and then 89. Not exactly sure I'm gonna hit those back ones because that one seems like it's gonna be a huge pain in the butt. So I had to go through and pull the tensioner in, and then I remeasured with my string and I got 67 inches. So what I'm gonna do is I'll run to AutoZone in the morning and I'll get a belt, just something loose to throw on there to make sure that we can get it sized properly. And then of course I'll order a green belt after I can figure that out. But next we're gonna do injectors. So I'm gonna leave this up here for a second. So we're gonna be running the top one for 1440. So we're gonna go ahead and put those in next. All right, pro tip. So this side of the rail, I had to do injectors in the rail, slide the injectors in, like I said, while they're all attached as one. This side, I had to put the injectors in and then put the rail on top and then wiggle the rail to seat on the injectors. But injectors and rail are now in. I think we're gonna move real quick. I gotta find the bolts for the power steering pump, and then I'm gonna put both belts back on. and then just finish connecting the fuel side over here for right now. All right, now that the intake's on, you can see it gets plumbed down here. Right here in the bumper, there is a fog light assembly, and the fog light is all like honeycomb style. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over to the bumper and knock out all the honeycomb with like a drill or something, and then that way we can open it up, maybe help a little airflow get to the intake. Just like that, ladies and gentlemen, the LSA swap is completely done. Not without a couple hiccups though. So what I didn't film was the 3 or 4 days that we had some tuning problems with the car. But I'll be honest, it's 100% my fault. We changed so many things on the car that I actually didn't relay everything to Mr. Barber when we did some of the tuning stuff. So we had a hard time getting the car to start, and it wouldn't stay running, and a couple of like the sensors and stuff got unplugged during this process. So through trial and error, we finally got it figured out. And then, you know, the dude's a freaking wizard. So once we got it pinpointed to exactly what the issue was, his very first tune he sent back, car fired, didn't try and fight us on the start, ran and idled just fine. So like I said, dude's a wizard, 100%. Last 4 days, all the headaches were my fault, but we're done. So next, what we're gonna do is we got a big fuel pump. It's actually dual 525s. We're gonna swap out for the factory fuel pump because here in 45 days, the car has to be on a trailer on its way to Maryland for the Holden event. So we got only a couple days to get that wrapped up and tuned. And then we got 2 days at our local racetrack that we have available for test and tune. So upcoming fuel pumps and test and tune. So make sure you guys stick around for that.